Now, you guys will want to know how in the world did Leo meet Benny? Well, I tell you, that it was way on back, like 2 years back. Well, I'll tell you all about it. The year was 2009. The world had bid a tearful farewell to many of its popular celebrities, including great actors like Dom DeLuise and Farrah Fawcett and the pop singer Michael Jackson. At the same time, new actors and filmmakers were making themselves known. The city of Manhattan was hosting an annual festival where these up-and-coming filmmakers could make themselves known all around the country. One such filmmaker was a slightly short and yet handsome young lion named Leo. Besides being a crazy yet creative filmmaker, Leo was also a gentleman who made friends with some of the known creatures, working alongside the cast of Lion King, Madagascar, and LKHFF. Leo put together a crossover film he called Sleeping Lioness. So with a skip and a step and a smile on his face, let's see. Oh yeah, Leo was set to enter the film festival and probably give all the other new film directors run for their money. Leo walked into the lobby of the film festival. Behind closed doors, he could hear sounds of laser fire and explosions. He perked around the door to see what was going on. The film was on the screen, lined up with space battle. Looks like the one right, like something out of Star Wars. Leo's jaw dropped with excitement. Whoever made that put some time and effort, Leo whispered to himself. When the film and the two people stood up, one was an average man named Nathan Humble. He was a judge to watch the film and see if it was worthy of entry into the festival. Nathan looked at the other guy, an enormous beast man with the body, horns, and the ears of an ox, the face, mane, paws, and tail of a lion. The beast looked at the man and said, "Well, what do you think?" "I'll tell you what I think." Nathan started to say. Neil listened carefully in the doorway of the theater. "That was the lamest, most disgraceful film I've ever seen in my life." Neil's eyes widened with the shock that he just heard. As Nathan continued to yell and insult the poor beast. "And those animal characters of yours are completely stupid," Nathan shouted. "No, I created those characters myself," Benny responded in a calm tone. "Then you should be taken out back, shut down like a pitiful, diseased animal that you are. Now take that trash heap that you can call a film and don't ever come back." Nathan shoved the reel into Benny's chest and proceeded to push him out the door. "If I ever see you here again, I'll get the animal control to come and lock you away. You got that?" I'm not going to say the last word. "Beast!" There we go. Ashamed and broken-hearted, Benny tossed his rejected film to a nearby trash can. Rain started to pour as he walked down the street alone. Leo watched the saddened creature turn the corner and disappeared. He then walked over to the trash can and dug out Benny's film. With both films in his paws, Leo walked into the lobby and approached a different judge named Carl Goodhart. "Excuse me, sir. I have a couple of films I'd like you to take a look at. Carl smiled at Leo. Ah, you have 2 entries for the film festival. Well, sorta. Well, let's take a look at them, shall we? Placing one arm around Leo's shoulder, Carl brought him into the screening room. Before I show you the one I'm entering, Leo said as he held up Benny's reel, can you take a look at this one first? Of course, but you know you may enter only one of these films. Oh, I didn't make this one. I'm just entering it for someone else. That's very noble of you, but rules still count as one entry, even if you submit it for someone else's behalf. Right, rules are rules. I can hold up on mine until next year. The guy who made this is really talented. He needs more than this than I do. With that, Leo handed his film over to Carl for submission. Carl smiled and accepted the film. He and Leo sat down to preview the film. To Leo's expectations, Carl enjoyed the film very much. Soon, the day at the film festival premieres, Leo arrived with his parents, Talon and Maggie, and his Uncle Claw. They had their wings folded over their shoulders like capes, so they won't block anyone's view of the screen. The 4 of them sat down in the center row as everyone else seated. Your mother and I have been looking forward to this day, Leo, Talon said. We know you've been working very hard on your new film, Maggie said. Claw, who was unable to speak, simply smiled and nodded. Thank you, Mom and Dad, Leo replied, but I decided to submit something different. Yeah? Oh? Maggie asked. Yeah. Wait till you see what it is. The lights dimmed and the projector started. In the front row, 5 judges sat as they watched each short film play out. Hours passed as each film was viewed and applauded. Toward the end, Carlos stood up in front of everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, for tonight's final film, we have saved the best for last. This film was not only made of a lot of hard work and dedication, but it was submitted with just as much love. Carl sat down as the audience applauded, and then the film projector started up again. The lights revealed that read, Fantasy Films Productions, then translated to the main title, The Aerial Fighter and the Battle of Yan. Flies backwards from the camera. An iris and revealed of animated space fighters flying to a sphere-shaped station inside the cockpit. The pilot was a pilot wearing green, bronze-colored armor, which confused. In another cockpit was Tiger Man wearing a jumpsuit with a chest plate. Well, you already know hold on a minute. Let it just say this film was just like the one from Star Wars, the aerial fighter, and the Battle of Yaren. But I'm not gonna tell you how all that went into details. Well, everyone except for Nathan Humble, he was horrified to see the film that he rejected be viewed at the festival with a standing ovation. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Nathan screamed as he stormed up in front of the audience. Everyone immediately quieted down. I viewed this atrocity earlier today and tossed it out with the garbage that made it. Who went behind me and allowed this lame eyesore to the screen? That will be me, Leo said as he stood up. Then he walked up to Nathan and got right in his face. I didn't make this film, but I submitted it for a friend of mine. A friend with a lot of talent and potential. Well, your so-called your so-called friend is a beast of nature who had no business being in this film festival. He belongs in the zoo, where he belongs. Nathan laughed, but the crowd started to boo him for that. Hey, back off, man. My friend created those characters in that film. From what I can see, they are very good. I agree, Carl said as he stood up. And I would like to meet with the guy who made that movie. Whatever! And Nathan, you are fired from judging for discrimination. What? You heard me. You pick up your last paycheck when this film is over. The audience then applauded Carl and Leo as Nathan walked out of the theater. Thank you all for coming, and we'll meet back here next week for the awarding of short films. Hopefully our mysterious new filmmakers there. Everyone else got up to leave as Talon, Mankey, and Claw walked over to Leo. That was a very nice thing you did, Leo. I'm very proud of you right now. Thanks. Hold on a minute. Thanks, Mom. So where is this friend of yours? Talon asked. Well, I saw him turn the corner on the right side of the street. I don't know where he lives. What does he look like? Well, he's kind of really big and buff, kind of like a hydra between a lion and an ox. Claw made a few gestures with his arms. Sorry, Unc. I'm not quite sure what you're saying. Claw gestured, Leo telling Mankey to follow him. I think Claw knows where to look. The three followed Claw outside of the theater, down the street to an old apartment complex. Well, this old place? Leo asked. No one lives here for years since it caught fire. Claw then takes him to the dark alley behind it. You think he lives? This is where he lives, Unc? Claw nodded. Well, only one way to find out. Talon, Mankey, and Claw stood aside as Leo approached the cellar door and knocked on it. There was no answer. Maybe he's not home. Leo pulled and opened it. And slowly he crept and looked around. The floor he saw was littered with those old drawings, but he was careful not to step on them. Hello? Anyone here? Leo heard the sound of a furious roar. He turned around, saw the beast coming right at him. He quickly backed himself against the wall, trying as hard as not to run away. Who are you? Benny growled. What are you doing here? I'm Leo Lionheart. I came there looking for you. What do you want with me? Well, I submitted your film at the film festival and everyone liked it. Benny stopped growling and slowly calmed down as he backed away from Leo. I thought my film wasn't good enough. That's why I threw it away. That Nathan guy was a complete jerk. I liked your film so much that I took it out of the trash can to another judge. I was going to submit my own film, but I decided to enter yours instead. You did that for me? You You bet I did. And you know why? 'Cause I'm your friend. Okay, well, we don't really know each other. I know you're very talented and creative. I like your characters. I like to know you more. Why don't you come home with us? Mom and Dad have plenty of room, and I'm sure they don't mind you staying with us until after the short film. Well, I don't know, Leo. This isn't a good time for me. I mean, I came to this country a couple of years ago to make something of myself. My studio hasn't made much success. Then I thought that this film festival was my big chance to show the world who I am. I just think I'm just making a fool of myself. You can't give up now. I tell you, you're gonna be big. Besides, after watching your film you made, everyone wants to meet you. They do. They really do. Alright. What do I have to lose? Benny said. So Leo took Benny home to the labyrinth, where you know he met the LionKingHeart, the Lion King, Madagascar, and LRK. The next day, Benny got to know all of Leo's friends. Then, the week passed. Then came the day of the award ceremony. Benny was frustrated in doubt. He thought he was touched that his film was. He was touched that the film made entry into the festival, but he was too afraid to get his hopes up. To get his hopes that it would be nominated, alone win any award. Him and Leo's and family and all the friends of his showed their support. Regardless, Benny decided to sit in the very back row. Leo sat next to him so he wouldn't feel lonely. One by one, the awards were given out. Not one award for Benny's film was mentioned, as he slumped hopelessly in the pit. Then came time for the final award. The award for the best animated short film. A few films were mentioned, and Benny's eyes lit up when he heard that his film was wonderful. The smile crossed his face as he sat up in his chair and waited for the winner of the award. After the award ceremony ended, Benny and Leo walked out of the theater with their family and friends following them. Where are you going, Benny? I'm excited to get started on my new film project at my studio. Benny replied. I'm ready to start with my new confidence, and it's all because of you, Leo. Oh, hey, it's nothing. No, it's a lot. You did something for me so thoughtful it brought warmth to my heart. If there's anything I can do to repay you, just name it. Well, there's one thing. I was just wondering if maybe your production company would like to team up with Lionheart Pictures. Benny smiled and extended his paws. It's a deal. Leo smiled back and shook Benny's paws. From now on, we're LionHeart Fantasy Films Productions. Works for me. Works well enough for me. Great. And wait till later to hear some of my ideas. Benny put his arms around Leo's shoulder. As Leo put his arms around Benny's, walked back toward the sunset. Leo, I can tell that this is the start of a beautiful friendship. That was 2 years ago, my friends. And over time they had many new friends joining them, including me. But that's another story, my friends. Until then, so long.